Hi everyone. Okay, fine. Right, great.
Hello.
Hi, I was trying to add you to the live, but I don't know why there's some glitch.
Yeah, I guess so. Can you hear me
Okay,
properly?
great. Yeah, I can hear you well. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible. I'm
Okay,
actually
great.
using a filter right now because the light is not very good. So
Okay.
I hope you don't mind.
No worries, no worries. Great. So
Yeah.
welcome to the live, Spandan. Why don't
Happy
you
to be here.
introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Thank you so much for inviting me. Firstly, my name is Spandan Tripathi, and I am a brand strategist and a digital marketer. So, what basically I do is that I help with the content creation process, graphic design, logo design, website design, and basically the overall branding strategy. So, that's my expertise.
Great, that's great. So let's get started with the session. More
Mhm.
people are joining gradually, so we can start. Should we wait for a few minutes or we can get started? What do you
Yeah, you
suggest?
can just wait for a few seconds, and if some people turn up, then it's good. I can see
Sure,
eight
all right.
people from my side.
Yeah, same here. So, we can wait for a few minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes, and then we can start.
So, how are you doing today?
Everything's going well, perfectly fine, thankfully. Very grateful.
Having a good day?
Yes, absolutely. Every day is a good day.
Ah, that's lovely. My first Instagram story. Good morning, everyone. Yes, yes, yes. I guess he follows me.
Yeah, that's a great way actually to start your day.
Yeah, definitely. It's way better to say it than text it to someone because the texting I personally find quite annoying.
No, I am a texter, so I like texting even more than calling someone. So
All right.
yeah,
I think we should get started then.
yeah, let's get started.
Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, I ask a lot of questions. See, I run out of questions at times because it's hard to talk like this. Hi, Vanshika. Hi, Astha. How are you? Hi, Pallavi.
Okay, so Spandan, how would you define, business branding and personal branding?
All right. See, firstly, I will give the definition of branding itself. Then I will get down to those categories. Branding, as such, is simply in terms of what you want to represent to the world, right? Now comes personal branding. Personal branding and business branding. What's the difference between that? Personal branding is somewhere as an individual, what you want to showcase the world, what you want to show. Okay, this is who I am, this is what I do, right? So that would come under personal branding. So, like Amrita is if you are a content writer, then you would say, okay, I'm Amrita, I'm a content writer, and I do this. I help you with your business, or this is the type of content writer I am. So that becomes part of your personal branding. But if, let's say, you're running an agency where you're offering content writing services, then you would say, okay, this is my company and I'm offering content writing services. This is the way I can help you with your business, along with other added benefits. So that becomes your business branding. I hope this simple example was clear enough.
Right, right. So it's like you're representing a business when you're talking about business branding, and you're representing yourself, who you are when you're a personal brand, right?
Exactly, because see, the reason why I always say that you need to show your face with your personal brand is because nobody does business with anyone unless they know them properly, right? Even
Right.
if someone wants your services, they would either ask you to be on a call or you would ask them to be on a call where you can talk to them, interact with them, see, get the vibe of the client and see, okay, is this person good enough or not? And can I work with them? Can I actually deliver the services that I'm promising? All that kind of stuff. you get an idea of, right? And even the client gets an idea of, okay, yeah, this person is actually professional. He or she has just not, typed it all and listed it in a way to make it look attractive. The portfolio is pretty much real because you get a
Right.
character judgment of that person as well. The way we interact with people. So that is why it's important. That way, people will trust you. They will think, okay, yeah, this person is credible enough. I can do business with them. So that becomes part of your personal branding. And personal branding is everywhere. Now, let's say I will give you an example of this. If you talk to your parents as well, they know a lot of people, right? They are known by certain characteristics. Okay, yeah, this person is respectful, this person is nice, this person actually is very professional. So these becomes your
Hmm.
brand attributes where people know you for these particular values. And for instance, if Amrita keeps on doing this as well, then Amrita would be known as a good professional who does a great job, and the testimonials will always read about that. So people will know her that if I invest my money with Amrita, I will get the results I want. So that's why personal branding becomes important, and that's why you have to show your face because it builds the trust.
Right. Oh, someone asked what is the topic? So the topic is
You
business
should actually
branding
pin the
and
topic.
personal branding.
You should pin the topic in the
Okay.
comments.
I actually tried to, but I don't know how to do it.
I'll
Okay.
tell you how. Just
Yeah.
type in the comment, type the title, and tap on it. Then you will get an option to pin. Pin the comment so that everybody knows what's it all about.
Okay, great. I had gotten option once, but when I tried it the last time, I wasn't getting it. So let me try it again. Okay, got it.
Yeah, just tap on it and it will pin it.
Yeah,
You'll
I've
get the
I've
option.
done that. Let's see. Let's see. It might
Yes.
be an internet issue, but I'm not.
It's not pinned yet.
It's not even visible yet, like to anyone else. It's only
No,
visible to
it's
me.
it's visible. It's visible. It's visible. I can actually see it. Just see what you do is just hold for
I've
a few
tabbed.
seconds. You will get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
option pin comment.
I've done the pin comment about 2 4 times till now, but I'm not sure why isn't. Okay,
Maybe
let
some
it be.
glitch.
Yeah. It keeps happening sometimes. Anyways, if you guys have any questions related to business branding and personal branding, you can ask in the Q&A session, or you can even type it in the comments. I will note it down and ask. So I had floated a form so that people can
Mhm.
ask questions, and
Haha, lovely.
one of the persons, Devji Das, has this question, like, what are the steps and strategies that you would recommend for a new startup to enhance their brand?
Okay, see, this thing is something that I would say to anyone, irrespective of what they're doing, whether it's a personal brand or a company or a startup. Firstly, you need to lay down your why. Your why becomes your crucial part. It is your inception. It's just like if you have ever seen a house being constructed, the first thing they do is dig a giant hole, right? And then they put up the pillars and everything because that is why that is what supports the entire house, right? If the hole is not deep enough, the structure will be not good enough, and in case of earthquake or anything like that, the entire building can collapse, right? So the why becomes important. Once you lay down your why properly, then let's say you're having some kind of issues or you're struggling in the beginning, so that becomes the thing that you can go to and say, okay, this is why I started my business, not for the sake of money, because I
Right.
know money is the end product that I'll be getting, right? I can get the money, but if I actually want to make a difference, if I actually want to showcase my skills, if I actually want to help others, then I need to show these values, right? I need to showcase that this is the why, this is why I'm doing. After that, you see what people are lacking, what are their pain points, what can I help them with? Listen to their problems, analyze them, and then provide a simple solution. Do not get too complex and do not give them homework to do that, because that it becomes boring for them, right? So as simple as you can make it, give them a proper solution, and then at the end, after you have promised everything, give them something a little extra. So that way they will remember you. They will think, okay, yeah, I did this business with this person, they gave me this as well. So now they are remembering this, and now if they are walking in a market, they will remember, okay, yeah, this person actually did this. And let's say their friend is talking about, okay, I need a content writer, and Amrita has done this for him earlier, like the friend. So he can say, okay, I did some business with Amrita and she did a phenomenal job, and she even gave me something like that, something as an extra added bonus. So they will
Right.
be like, oh yeah, this is good enough. Let's hop on a call with her. So you see this, the word of mouth is so important because once we ask for our friend's opinion, we value them highly, right? We would not second guess it. We would be like, okay, yeah, fine, let's do it. They wouldn't question it afterwards, right? They would just hop on a call with you. So that is what you should be aiming for, providing value and actually engaging with it. Right now, customer care is extremely important, right? You have seen the example of Zomato, and yesterday I was talking with Vanchika. We talked about Sleepy Owl and Sugar
Yes.
Cosmetics and how they're taking over.
I
So
was there
this
in
is
the
why
live.
it's important.
It was a very engaging session. So, like, mind blowing.
Thank you so much.
So yes, so like just to summarize, so firstly we need to identify why we are there in the market, what like how do we want to help people. Then we need to find the right people and actually listen to their problems, what are their problems, then offer them simple solutions that is easy for them to understand. And obviously the final thing will be to over deliver, which always works.
Exactly, and that's all it takes. And that is all you have to do. It doesn't have to be super complex. It doesn't have to be, okay, I have to hire 20,000 people, I have to do this, I have to apply these psychological tricks and all that. Stop that. There's no time for that right now. You are trying to build an
Right.
audience, right? You have to first build an audience because an audience will support you. If you start chasing numbers, if you start chasing money, you will go bankrupt in 1 or 2 years.
Great. So like so there's another question that came up in the comments. I noted it down. So is color branding necessary for personal branding?
Yeah, definitely. Because even if you are a business or if you are a person owning a personal brand, people need to associate with you. People need to remember you, right? So that is why you need to get your brand colors on point. Now you can choose any color that you like for your personal brand because, like, some colors are, not liked in certain cultures. Some colors are liked by certain cultures, but you can always go for something that is, what your competitors are doing. Don't just copy paste it. You can obviously use different shades or any color that you fancy as well, and something that, gets your point across properly. But why is it important is because people will psychologically relate to it. If you're using different colors, then people will never think, okay, yeah, this is a content of Amrita or this is the content of Spandan. They would think, oh yeah, this is just another piece of content. Scroll,
Right.
it's gone. So they're not staying and engaging with you. But if you see through my profile, you would see that I have used three prominent colors in all of my posts, right? The reason because people will know, okay, this is Spandan's post. I can stay here, I can see, and this might be interesting, right? So they get an idea. That is why your colors play a huge role because people will remember you, they will retain you in their heads. Plus, it becomes easier to associate with you. And like I gave the
I,
market example, like for instance, if you are, let's say, you approach someone and say, okay, do you want content writing services? But that person said, no, I don't right now. But they still check out your profile, they still check out your content. But they are working in a market with their friend, and their friend again says, I need a content writer. So they'll remember, oh, yeah, this was the color of the post. This is how I remember. And they would say, okay, I met this person, Amrita. She seems pretty professional. I checked out her profile. It's quite good. Maybe you can hop on a call with her. See?
okay, great. So is it just colors or it is also characters? For example, like if you consider Disney, they don't have any particular color as such, but they have certain characters which, like if you see Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck, you know it's Disney. So is it just the colors or anything that can, become a unique identity of yours?
See, that's not Disney's identity. That's characters that
Like,
have been produced are their products,
yeah.
right? They are
But
iconic
but we
products.
but if we just see them, we can relate it to them, right? So
Yeah. So yeah. See, that is the part of branding. And now I can give you more examples. Like for instance, if you look for fast food, your first name that pops up is McDonald's. Or if you look for pizza,
exactly.
then it will come Domino's. Or if you talk about safety in cars, then you would think of Nissan. So, that's what it takes. These are just products, and products can be very iconic. Products can be really good. Like you might have remembered if you saw an interview of Steve Jobs where he talked about the iPod. He launched it in a way, he said, a million songs in your pocket. Right. And the
Right.
same thing they did with their Apple iWatch as well, because they said that 50 million songs right in your wrist. right? So this is the way branding has been done, the proper copywriting and everything that has been done has made those products iconic. But brand colors are different. If you see that even Apple has stayed consistent with their colors. They're using that
Right.
same format. And I can give other brands as well, like UPS. UPS is also quite good. Other brands like McDonald's. McDonald's have also stuck to their simple logo style and color. They have not changed it. The
Right.
products are there, but you remember them, right? You remember by that color. You can associate with it. So that is what color plays as a role. And even the Disney's iconic logo, the color hasn't changed. They use the same color. They use different textures and all that to just make it a magical appearance and everything. But the logo has remained same since Walt Disney made it way back. So you remember that.
So is it necessary to include our brand colors in our brand logo?
No, not necessarily. You can have a plain logo as well. See, there are a lot of logo styles. It can be a monogram, it can be word art, it can be geometry, it can be anything. It can be just simply your brand name, like Prada or
Right.
Chanel. Chanel has their logo as well, but they have also put something like that. Or let me give you a more practical example. McDonald's has the U shape. You can see the M and D is there in that logo, right?
Right.
But you remember that, okay, this is McDonald's. They've kept it simple. Or KFC has used a
Zomato
picture.
has kept it simple. It's just Zomato. That's it.
Zomato, that's it. Zomato or Swiggy, they have just kept their name, simple as that. They haven't gone for something very complex. See, the reason why, because simplicity is actually quite good. People will remember that, right? You don't have
Right.
to recall the logo. If you can, draw it on a piece of paper, it means the logo is good enough from memory, right? If, like you gave the example of Zomato, and if I ask you to draw the Zomato's logo, would you have any difficulty in drawing it?
No.
See, that's why
Right.
simplicity is important.
Great. So for a brand logo, it should be very simple so that it can be drawn on the paper.
Yeah, if people can retain it from memory, then yeah, your brand logo is amazing.
Great. Everyone, if you have any questions related to branding, whether it's personal branding or a business branding, feel free to, add it in the Q&A section or even type it in the comments and we'll take it up. Um, so, like, what kind of a story? Like there are a lot of brand logos that talk about a story behind it. So
Hmm.
even when we had a startup, we had a mental health startup, and it had
Hmm.
a butterfly kind of logo for like free from, or butterfly is kind of a symbol of freedom. So it
Hmm.
it
I get it.
yeah, so it portrayed that. So how important do you think a story is in a brand logo?
Okay, see, first thing I would like to tell you is that, yeah, people might say that you have a great building, people might say that you have a great product. But the thing is, nobody's actually buying your product. People are actually buying feelings, right? You buy from a certain company because you feel it is the right choice, it is the right pick for you.
Right.
You feel if I spend my money on this, I will get what I want, right? But there are other brands as well. Like I can give you the example of Apple. Now, I personally love Apple. I know there are other brands as well. They're equally good. They have the same pricing as well. But I will always choose Apple because I know if I invest my money into this, I will not get bullshitted. I will not. I will get exactly what I want. I will get simplicity. I will get quality, and that is what I want right now because I know that
Right.
I feel this way, right? So feelings are important, and this is why into play. As you gave the example of butterfly, right? So you can always use this as an advantage where, even if in after, let's say, your startup becomes super successful and everyone is talking about it and there are press conferences and everything, then they would ask you, okay, what gave you the idea of the logo? And you can always say, yeah, this. Or even if you're starting up and people are asking you questions about your logo and then they ask you, okay, what gave you the idea of this logo? I actually love the logo. And they would just say this. You can always say, I like butterflies. They symbolize freedom and everything. And this is what Amrita and I, sorry, this is what Vanshika and I was talking about yesterday about Sleepy Owl. Sleepy Owl, if you remember, we talked about this new startup that has come and it is gaining a
Right.
quite of popularity. Sleepy Owl, the name itself says Sleepy Owl. It's something that you can relate
It's
with.
an
And plus
ironical.
the logo is quite cute and it looks quite done. Right. So the butterfly logo, as you were talking about, will pay a huge difference because people are always curious about these stories. They love stories. People would love stories. We have been telling stories since we have been kids, and we still tell stories. Everybody is interested in, oh, what happened next? Oh, what happened now? That is why people love celebrity gossip as well. We love stories.
Right, precisely. So, and these brand stories usually they are very strongly associated with the why. In fact, like they explain why did you actually start up
Hmm.
mostly, right? But like what happens if you try to form or you try to modify or manipulate a brand story, like just to have a story for your brand?
See, if you try and do something that is not true, firstly, it will be known by you itself, right? You will not be feeling that level of enthusiasm, that energy, that passion, that drive that you initially started with, right? The second thing is people are really quick to point it out. People will know. People always know. The thing is that we are judgmental creatures as human beings. It was part of our evolutionary process. It has still not gone. We will judge, we will assess because during those times we used our judgmental skills to, you know, identify a threat. Where are we going to get chased by a pack of lions? Are we going to get run by mammoths or something else? So, at that point, people had to know this. That feature hasn't gone yet. Even now, we have to sense, okay, is this dangerous? Is this good enough?
Hmm.
Is this risky? Should I invest my money into
Right.
this? You're judging, right? You're just counting your plates. You're saying, okay, is this good enough? Is this good enough? Is this good enough? So the same thing goes into this. If you're faking something, how long can you fake it? People will eventually
True.
figure out, right? So there's no point to that. Even if you don't have a big complex stories that would, awe people, you can keep it simple. People will love simplicity as well. Like we were discussing about that. Apple. You remember Apple? I gave the example of Apple. How did Steve Jobs get the idea of Apple? There was just an
Like,
Apple sitting on his desk, and he
oh,
wanted something to be simple because he hated IBM and Microsoft and other companies. There was just an Apple sitting on his desk, and he said, "Okay, let's name it Apple." What's so great about this story? But everybody's still talking about it long after he has been gone.
so like what are the emotional characteristics that one should like bring into stories? For example, there's a comment here that nowadays sarcasm plays an important role in branding and advertising. What is your take on it?
Sarcasm, yeah, see, that's something that works with only a certain fraction of the audience. I wouldn't say
Right.
that you should use sarcasm in your branding or anything because kind of it looks untruthful as well because you're not being very honest with it. And only a certain number of people will understand. Like some of them will get offended, some of them will not understand what's going on, some of them will understand, have a good laugh. That is all that will
Yeah.
happen. Instead, just be honest
Yeah.
and simple. You can be funny. That's the thing. Be funny. Do not mock others. Be funny. That's good enough. Humor is good enough. Sarcasm, I am not going to support it.
Yeah, like it's more about positive, like highlighting positive emotions. So I just read it somewhere that when there are positive emotions in the story, it's 10 times as much retainable, like it's 10 times more retainable than negative emotions in the story,
Yes.
right?
See, the thing is, human brain will always remember your happy and sad memories. Now, this is very important. I'll give you an example. Let's say you are in third grade and you are preparing for your annual function, right? And you do a tiny bit of mistake, and your teacher calls you up and say, "Amrita, come here." And then she screams at you in front of the whole class. Will you forget that?
No,
Never, right?
I
Even
wouldn't
even
forget
after
it.
you're 40, 50 years old, if someone would ask you, okay, what happened, then you would like, oh yeah, this teacher was there, she screamed at me for no reason. You'll remember that forever, right? And now for the positive
Exactly.
example, let's say you won a big, huge award, or if you are in university or college, then you come up first, you get lots of laurels, and your parents are also super happy. Your friends are cheering you on. You will remember that moment as well, and you'll say, wow, this is great, right? So this is the reason why. sometimes if you read some sad story that you come across the internet, you feel that sympathy, you feel that, because it's part of our humanity, it's part of our human DNA. We feel stuff, right? And this is why positive feelings will always work, because if something can make you feel good about yourself, then why not?
Okay, that's great. All right. Like no one is asking any questions. Guys, please ask some questions. It will be great. You'll get to like learn a lot from Spandan. I did not prepare all these questions. I just came up with them one by one. So like there's still a lot of curiosity like within me, and I have a lot of questions to ask regarding branding. So, like, how do you suggest a beginner to, start? Like, what would be the first step that they should take, apart from understanding their why? Like, the actionable step that they can take.
See, after that, you have to decide what is my target audience? Where are the people whom I can serve, right? See, you are here to serve. Do not become their slave by meaning, what I mean by saying you're here to serve is simply that you're here to provide a list of services or a product, right?
Right.
These are the things that you would be providing because you want to help them. In return, you will get money. That becomes your end product. But now you have to identify where is my target audience. For instance, let's say if you're a writer, then LinkedIn makes more sense for you, right? If you're a writer, LinkedIn makes more sense because LinkedIn offers more textual context. There's
Right.
lots and lots of text, right? So you start from there. You showcase your writing skills over there, where people can, they can ping you. People can see, okay, yeah, this is good. You can get potential clients with these, and you will get a good audience as well. So LinkedIn is something that would work for you. But let's say now I will give my example as well, where I'm more into branding and digital marketing and all that stuff. Instagram worked well for me as compared to LinkedIn. Now I'm getting serious with LinkedIn as well, and LinkedIn is also working with me. But initially, I started with Instagram. I could have started with LinkedIn as well. There's no problem in that. But I know Instagram gives the more visual context. People like visuals more, right? And if I'm getting into designing, I need to showcase my design skills as well, where people can see and identify me as someone who does his job well. So this is what becomes important. So after you've identified your target audience, then see how you can help them. Start with the why, introduce yourself. It's that simple. Just say, okay, this is who I am, this is what I do. And then start offering them value bombs, help them. For instance,
Hmm.
once we started as beginners, there were so many things that we didn't know. There were so many things that we never could have even thought of at that point. And there's still a lot of beginners that are coming up. They're still confused. So you can help them, you can offer them values, you can do consultation calls, you can do all that kind of stuff. And this way, they will appreciate you. Others will see you as an expert. Plus, you get to solidify your own knowledge. The more you talk about it, the more you teach it, people will see you as an expert. You will get a knowledge. Okay, yeah, this is what I said. Maybe I can use this as I can record it later and see how well have I spoken and how well could I communicate my point. So you will also
Right.
get an idea. Okay, these are the areas I can improve in. So it's mutually beneficial.
I recently attended a session where they talked about, like you are at this point, for example, and you have to get to this point. And
Hmm.
like all the skills and everything you want is at this point. And there is a valley that you have to cross with all the mistakes that you make and or the all the pitfalls and everything. So
Yeah.
when you meet someone who has already been there and you reach out to them, you take help from them, you actually create a bridge that helps you get from this point to that point without crossing that entire valley. So like
Yeah, you
what
save
is
a
your
lot of
take
time
on
that
that?
way.
Yeah. So like what is
I
your take on that? Is courses and consultation, is it all worth it?
See, if you're a complete beginner with no money and no resources, don't go for that. Go for the free stuff. Once you start
Right.
earning, then go for these things because now you want to improve yourself. Now you want an extra knowledge, an extra boost, something that will make you even better. So the best thing to do is invest in yourself, right? If you invest a small amount for a course or something like that from a creator who has been doing this for a while and who has actually experienced the same thing that you're going through, then is it bad? Because at the end of the day, if you invest about 2,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees in someone and you get a deal about 50,000 or 10,000, I'm giving exaggerated figures. So is it bad? Is it bad?
Not at all.
Because
The return
that
of
that thing
investment.
helped you, right? That thing helped you. You
Yeah.
invested in yourself. Now you're a better creator. You can charge more. You can provide better services. You can even hire people for yourself. So is it bad?
No, it's
And
not.
like you
Like, how
said,
did
that
it?
bridge
Yeah.
thing is true because it's a journey, right? It's just like
Yeah.
the hero's journey. We talk about we get those hardships and everything, and eventually we get that reward, right? So to get to that reward, obviously you have to put in the work as well. And these courses, these consultation calls, and other free value stuff that you get, it's actually quite useful because it's preventing you from wasting your time on stupid stuff or mistakes that you could do or something that might be killing your current business, killing your
Right.
sales, killing your calls, stuff like that. So you're saving time, you're saving money. I say go for it.
So, like, how did it help you? Like, did you take up any courses or something, and how has that helped you till now?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a lot of courses right now itself as well. I started from courses because I knew college and university aren't going to teach me any skills that I could monetize. So obviously I
That's
had to
true.
build it myself. I started interacting with people who have been doing this for a while. You might have heard of Shreya. Now I follow a lot of designers as well, like Jeremy, and there's Alec, and then there's Jent, and Robbie, Dane Walker, Chris Du. There are so many people out there. They have been doing this for years, right? They have years of experience, of almost about 10 or 11 years of experience. So definitely I'm going to utilize that for my benefit as well. And the courses are not that hard. They're just charging
Hmm.
about $50, $5, $10, something like that, because they know, yeah, even these people are struggling right now. They are not making that we are making. So they have kept the prices
Right.
lower. It's not like those internet gurus that will charge you $10,000 and you will get nothing out of it. It is actually useful.
Right. In fact, it
So
gets
yeah,
you
I
like,
definitely
yeah,
signed up for that.
yeah. So I think when you take up a course or something, you get more actionable steps and you get time to implement those steps as well. Like, it's not like you're just consuming information and you're feeling overwhelmed and doing nothing about it.
Hmm.
Kind of a step by
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Because see, you are here for improvement. Yeah, you're always
definitely.
here to improve yourself. The journey never stops, right? You cannot say, okay, yeah, I am now perfect. I am the best, because there will always be a bigger fish. Remember that. So all you can do is keep on improving, keep on providing value, keep on doing new things, keep experimenting. And the more you practice, the more you get better at your craft.
True, very true. Right. So we had a question in the comments that I noted down. So when should a business
Mhm.
think of rebranding itself?
Okay, rebranding is actually quite a complex thing to do. And now, rebranding in the sense, do you want to change your design? Do you want to change your logo? Do you want to change your colors? Because, see, it can be quite a disaster for you as well. Now, if you had, I gave the example of Calendly. Calendly actually had a nice warm look, and now it looks quite corporate and, uninviting. So that's something that you should avoid. You should be very, very careful with your rebranding, because if you already have a huge audience that is loving your stuff, that is already engaged with you, buying your products and services, then be very careful with your rebranding. Do not change the colors. You can change the texture of it. You can change a little bit of typography and stuff.
Hmm.
Experiment with a few tweaks, or even change the color if you like, but it may or may not work because people can, get offended at times. They might not associate with you anymore. They might not buy. Your sales would decline, and all that stuff could happen. So rebranding is quite a complex thing. But let's say if you don't have an audience itself, or you're not getting enough sales and your colors look dull, your page looks dull, nobody's buying your services, then obviously go for it. Change it, hire a proper designer, do all that stuff, get into the details, get your groundwork properly done, and then go for it. I hope that answers.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely does. I hope my friend has a more clear answer right now for the question. So like, what are the career options in branding, and like, how would you describe those different career options? Like, if you could talk about it a bit.
See, there are about 100,000 colors over there. 100,000 or about
Career
two
options.
colors
Sorry,
approximately.
did I say?
Yeah,
Uh, I was
you
talking
said
about career
career
options in
options.
brand. Yeah.
See, it depends. It depends. Firstly, you need to have a proper solid framework of what branding is, what branding does, and how you can brand yourself, right? You have to test that knowledge
Hmm.
out as well because theoretical knowledge will always be there, but you have to actually do it practically itself, test it out. Then see what is working for you. Do not chase money like, okay, yeah, this job has more money, I should go for this. You might not like that job after a few years, and then
Right.
you will hate yourself because you won't have the time to go back. You might have responsibilities, you might have a family or something. So that point becomes quite hectic and quite cumbersome. So, firstly, what you have to do is learn all that stuff, then see what is the area you like the most. Experiment around, let's say you want to be a brand identity designer, or you want to be a brand strategist, or you just want to be an overall branding expert who supervises all of it, or you just want to be a brand designer. Anything can be there. So after that, you just work upon, okay, yeah, maybe I like being a brand designer more than being a brand identity person. So then you can go for brand designing. Eventually, it has to be
Okay.
something that you're passionate for, right?
Hmm.
Something that, wakes you up in the morning with a fire in your belly and you're ready to rock, you're ready to work on your craft. That should be something that you should strive for. Or, like I said, the ikigai I talked about, something that would, wake you up, excite you up, and you would love to work on that. You can dedicate hours to it, right? You don't have to, say, okay, yeah, I have to do this as well. Although do it in a controlled way, but I'm not advertising that kind of obsessive behavior as well because that's not healthy either. But you get my feeling. What I'm trying to say is something that
Yeah.
actually makes you want to work upon it. Something that doesn't feel
Right.
like a task. Something that you actually love doing. So go for that.
Great. Right. That's amazing. And I think Ikigai, like you are a huge fan of Ikigai. I've seen it in your posts that you talk a lot about it sometimes, right?
Yeah, yeah, I love the Japanese philosophy. I do love quite a lot of philosophies. I just love reading books. So whatever idea I just get, I like to share with others as well.
Okay. That's great. Uh, like if we have any other questions, let me just check the comments if I missed out on any questions. So, like like how did like what yeah this is one question that I had, like what kind of what is the ideal portfolio of a like overall brand manager, or
Amrita, I'm losing you. You're buffering.
am I audible now?
Yeah, you were saying something.
Yeah, I was asking like how does an ideal portfolio look like for a branding specialist?
See, ideally speaking, it should firstly, talk about what you do, what kind of value you provide, what benefits are there, right? So if I'm looking for a brand manager or anyone, then my first look would be, okay, how can this person help me, right? The first thing is that. And then the second would
Right.
be, okay, how much experience does this person have? And then you can
Hmm.
always showcase some of your mock-ups as well. Like, for instance, in my portfolio, I have put certain mock-ups which I can showcase. Okay, this is my brand designing stuff. You
Hmm.
always put in the effort. You cannot download that from the internet. Why am I saying this? Because if you download it from the internet or you just copy paste something from Canva or something like that, people will know. People have seen this everywhere, right? You can't fool people like that. So that's something that would be bad for your branding itself. So what you do is first you highlight the benefit, who you are, what you do, how you can do it, all that in the simplest steps. Put some kind of mock-ups there where people can see your design skills and assess them and say, okay, yeah, this is cool, this looks nice. Um, I guess you can add in a little testimonials as well, just a few quotes to showcase, okay, yeah, this person knows his stuff. This person has worked with few people. Don't put too much text into it. Add your brand colors, add your brand typography, and that way
Hmm.
people will remember that portfolio as well. Otherwise, people are not going to really read it entirely. People scan stuff, right? So just
Right.
keep these things on point because everybody is on the lookout for value. They want to see value for their money, and they want to be
Right.
done in the cheapest and quickest way possible. So
True.
I think these are
True.
the things you should keep in mind.
So, like, if you're a beginner, you don't have any work samples to show, right? So, how do you create a portfolio in that case?
You can make some. Like if you're a designer, you can make some. It's not that hard. You just have to, download a 3D model or something like that from the internet. There are a lot of free resources. And then you can use Photoshop, you can use Illustrator, you can use all these apps to just, showcase your design work, showcase something unique, make up a fake brand or something like that. See, you are putting the same amount of effort into it,
Right.
right? You only won't have the testimonials, but you will have
Yeah.
the result. You will have the result where people can see, okay, yeah, this person knows their stuff. After that,
Hmm.
obviously, after the client signs up, you can just, you know, get the testimonials done. So you will have testimonials itself. But you can always create mockups. Mockups is not dishonest because you're putting in the effort. If you're not putting in
Right.
the effort, if you're just downloading it from the entire thing from internet or, you know, plagiarizing it from someone else, then it's wrong. Then people will know.
Right. So how do you find your first client in a branding role as a beginner?
See, you have to target your people, right? Like I said, you have to identify your audience. You have to identify what people are doing, right? So let's say if you are targeting beauty industry, so you start engaging with the people, see what they're doing, and then you can start emailing them, or you can send them a DM. Just do not start with criticism. That's the thing I would avoid because if I want someone to improve, I cannot just go and say, you are shit, you are terrible. That way, nobody's going to listen to me, right? You can
Right.
always say, okay, I like this about your brand, but I can help you with this. I can help you get more of this. So that way,
Hmm.
people are like, oh, yeah, okay, go on. Then you make your pitch. Then you say, okay, yeah, this is what I can do. And then you try to get them on a call. Get them on a call, discuss, then go through the entire process, get a little amount done, do the discovery call, do all that stuff, and then you have your car.
Great. I really hope it is helping any branding, enthusiasts that want to, get started with the journey. And like, what is the, one advice that you would give to the beginners?
Do not try to be someone else. Simple as that. Do not be super hard on yourself and do not try to copy others because if you try to copy others, you'll be branding them, not yourself. Just be yourself. Use your own font style, use your own colors, use your own voice, showcase yours, you know, your entire personality because, but it depends upon platform as well. As on LinkedIn, you have to be a little professional. On Instagram, you can be a little quirky. On Twitter, you can be just yourself. So all these things are dependent on the platforms itself, but you can always be yourself. You don't have to, pretend to be someone just to, get those likes or get those engagement or get those clients. People always know when you're faking and once you're being real, right? You cannot lie to
Right.
people for a long time. Other thing is remember that it's a journey. It takes time. You will not buy from any product, right? You will firstly
Hmm.
analyze it, see if others are buying itself or not. Then they would buy from you, right?
True.
So remember that. That's all I would say.
Okay. And like you talked about platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. So,
Hmm.
does a person have to, brand themselves differently on different platforms, or like how does it differ from platform to platform, apart from the voice, obviously?
See, apart from the voice, it doesn't have to be much. You just have to see what kind of value people are looking for, what kind of pain points are there, right? For on LinkedIn, you can talk about stuff that people face, like client issues, all that kind of stuff, or getting the
Hmm.
sales call done or getting through your discovery call. Stuff like that you can share on LinkedIn. On Instagram, you can talk about, how you can design stuff better, how you can talk better, how you can appear better. You can just convey your message in a better tone or your visual that you can discuss on Instagram. So use the same colors, you can always use the same brand style and everything, but the voice will automatically change a little, but that's okay because people will still remember you by your brand identity.
Um, I think there's
Okay, I
some
lost you
lighting
again.
issue. There's some
You're
lighting
buffering.
issue at your end.
Yeah, there's some issue at I lost you with the internet because you're buffering.
Okay, like I can see you clearly. Okay. I think that's all the questions I had for today. And like one final thing that you would like conclude this talk with.
Final thing I would say, just trust the process, keep being consistent, keep on reading books, keep on talking with other creators, and do not start competing with them. It's not a competition. Everyone has started their journey because of their own individual reasons. They are different from you. You are unique. There's no one like you. There will never be anyone like you. Remember that.
Wow, that was very inspiring. And like I could not think of anything better to say in the end. Thank you so much, Spandan, for joining me on this live
Thank you so
and
much for
have
having
a
me.
good day ahead.
Lovely. Take care. Good evening. Bye bye.
Take care. Good evening. Bye bye. Thank you everyone who joined. I'll save this talk as a live so that you can refer to it whenever you want to know about branding as a beginner. And stay tuned for more lives and more sessions like these. Thank you so much, everyone.